How do you prevent the fear of the blank page when you want to capture ideas in a visual way, but you're not sure how? Let's sketch it out. Welcome to Verbal to Visual Video. I am your host, Doug Neill, and today I would like to share with you my process for calming my nerves prior to a sketchnoting session, particularly live sketchnoting sessions where you have less control over the situation, over the pace of the information that's coming at you. And all it takes is just a little bit of prep work and the creation of a sketchnoting style sheet. Let me explain what I mean by that. When you create a sketchnoting style sheet, what you are doing is defining upfront your approach to this particular sketchnoting session. And there are 5 things that I think about when I am defining my approach. Here are those 5 things. The most important and the best place to start is with your purpose. Remind yourself why you are taking these notes in the first place. When you define your purpose up front, it makes it so much easier to filter all of the information that's coming at you and ignore the stuff that isn't relevant to your purpose, but get down the stuff that is. After you have defined your purpose, it's time to tackle your process, which has 4 pieces to it. Your process is all about how you use text on the page, how you approach layout, the structure of information, what sort of visuals you use or your approach to imagery, and whether you're using color or not, and if so, how you are using color. The combination of those 4 elements, that's what makes up your sketchnoting style. And when you define for yourself how you are going to approach those 4 elements, you then have this reference point that you can look back to or refer to during the sketchnoting session itself. So the idea is that for each unique sketchnoting application, define these pieces for yourself. Write or sketch out your purpose, how you will approach text, layout, imagery, and color. Then you can put that style sheet to the side, break out your sketchbook, and start sketchnoting. And you don't have to create a new style sheet for every single sketchnoting session, but it is worthwhile to make one for each distinct application. For example, I might create one sketchnoting style sheet for live, large-scale graphic recording. And then I might make a separate style sheet for smaller scale sketchnoting while I'm listening to a podcast. One thing to keep in mind with your style sheet is to not be afraid of limiting your options. For example, you might choose not to worry about using multiple colors and instead maybe just stick with one black pen so that you can focus more on using text, layout, and imagery effectively. That is an example of a creative constraint that can help you do better work. A few months back, this idea of creating a sketchnoting style sheet came in handy when I did some live streaming of sketchnotes that I took of a creative live series called 30 Days of Genius. Let me show you. So this here is where I was doing that sketchnoting. I threw up a piece of poster paper here. But before I got started sketchnoting, I defined for myself these things here. First, my purpose, and then my process. In the case of live streaming those sketchnotes, part of my purpose was to simply improve my sketchnoting skills, improve my teaching based on what I was learning from these interviews. I was interested in improving my filmmaking skills over time, and with kind of a long-term interest in music. So these interests helped me to filter the otherwise fairly, at times, general ideas around creativity. I also made it part of my purpose simply to have fun, which helped relieve some of the pressure of, first of all, sketchnoting live, but then on top of that, live streaming those sketchnotes out to an audience. My process during that live sketchnoting, primarily just 2 font sizes, a title font, bit larger than my primary font. My approach to layout, I like to think of sketchnoting in terms of rectangles, filling rectangles on the page. And within each rectangle is one primary idea that is expressed with some combination of visuals and words. For imagery, I relied a lot on simple icons and diagrams, and I used 3 colors. A black for the visual pieces, blue to get the writing down, and gray for kind of a support color. Now let me show you some of the results. This was the size of paper that I was working with, and I ended up enjoying the style here, how it all kind of turned out. Didn't make it through the entire 30 days. I think I did 5 before I kind of lost steam with this particular project. And if you would like to see in real time how I applied that process that I just described and created these sketch notes, check out the links below this video. And then go create your own style sheet for each distinct application that you are using your sketchnoting skills toward. Thanks for watching. See you next time. I hope that you enjoyed that video, and I would love to see how your style sheets turn out. So if you make a style sheet, snap a photo and send it to me in one of these places that you see. And if you would like some additional resources and support to help you build and apply your sketchnoting skills, check out the courses and the community available at verbaltovisualclassroom.com. Thanks again for watching and for making it to the very end of the video. We'll see you soon.